Yo, good morning. Sorry if I woke you up. Oh man. It's 3:47. Where are you at? Okay. There's a lot of times where I watch these people on YouTube and they will have a playlist of some of the stuff from the beginning. I'm like, well, you know more about it now. Maybe you should remake that stuff. And I thought about new beginnings and walking into newness of life. And then the thought hit me. His mercies renewed each morning. And as the sun comes up, there's something that happens as the sun's going down and the sun's coming up. And if you have opportunity to just chill and walk at the sunrise in a set apart place that's just between you and him, and you get back to the basics, you think about those songs from way long time ago. They used to have a song, be careful little eyes what you see, be careful little ears what you hear. And then there's a lot of nursery rhymes that they sing the basics. And there's a part of the Bible that talks about speak to one another in spiritual songs and hymns. It says something about a childlike faith, and it also talks about His mercies renewed in the morning. So as the scientists will tell you, when you're walking in the morning in the sun with exposed skin, your body is actually absorbing the melatonin that you'll need that night to rest. So peace and rest go hand in hand. There's a word, shalom, that's translated to peace and rest. It says something about peace and rest. When I started reading, I didn't know what shalom was, and I didn't realize that was, kind of aloha, hello and goodbye, but so much deeper meaning. And then the translation is, peace and rest. So at one point I'm reading there, I was like, I keep saying this. So it's like peace and rest, peace and rest. The translation I had said peace and rest. So I counted 35 times. So I might have missed a couple. I thought, if I was dad of all humanity and I told somebody something 35 times, probably a big deal. If I said something once, it's kind of vague, probably not that big a deal. And I see how the enemy will use argument amongst the kinfolk to divide churches and create denominations, and then sometimes that spirals way out in left field into evil. Evil begets evil, right? So in the midst of the argument, it's okay to bring up something that you should be agreed upon. So if I'm like Saturday, you're like Sunday, you're like Monday, and then, is it morning until the next morning? Is it evening until the next evening? Whatever. I mean, potato, how do we pronounce this? And all kind of stuff, and we're fussy. You got to shut the fuss up, you know what I mean? Just like pause the fuss. And fuss. I said, shut the fuss. F-U-S-S. Fuss. Shut the fuss up. My wife hates it when I say that to her. She'll be all, whatever. Shut the fuss up. Anyway, be careful with that. It sounds like something else. Anyways, bring up a point of agreement. Bring up a point of agreement. Something that will, they believe in. Say, well, you think it's this, I think it's that. What does the Bible say about it? It's kind of vague. So, but what about this? And then bring up something that they agree upon. In that moment, that they agree on this thing, and then with a question, ask them to explain that new thing to you, right? So that'll shift the vibe and thwart the plan of the enemy. You know what I mean? Because the enemy wants division. Well, we want to grow, we want to learn, and everything else like that. We want to reinforce in the kinfolk the known basics. So if you bring up something basic that you can agree upon and have them explain that to you, all y'all know all this stuff I'm saying. I'm just reminding you. I'm just reminding you. You know what I mean? And spurring thought and encouragement and just kind of juicing the crowd to get out there. Because the more you practice, the better you'll get. You know what I mean? So Raquel, go get them. Shalom.